I am sitting in the chair. Different pronunciation.
Hello, teacher. Please, I finish 5 minutes and maybe I come back next month. I want to learn which new.
Maybe next month.
Yes, because tomorrow I go to Koh Samui and I come back. I have holiday 1 month. I come back.
1 month?
Yes.
1 month holiday.
Wow. Can I go?
It's all okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I come back next month.
Okay, have a nice vacation. I hope you enjoyed the 5-minute class.
She go to Small Island.
Okay.
Surat Thani province.
For a month?
Yeah.
Wow.
1 month holiday.
Long vacation.
Yes.
Okay.
South of Thailand.
Okay, we'll go over a list of new words and focus on the pronunciation and of course the meaning, but the pronunciation is a key thing too. One of the things is always remember to complete the word. Don't drop off the end of the word, especially things like S or ness and shun and endings like that, because it changes the meaning if you drop a word before you complete it. Okay, here we go. Ask.
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 Remember the k. If you drop the k, it has a different meaning. Question.
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 Discuss.
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 Confer.
Confer.
Confer. No. I didn't say confirm. I said confer. No, confer. I'll explain it in a minute. This is a different word. I know what you mean, but this is a different word. And inquire.
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 What is confer? Confer. To confer.
To meeting. Conference.
Well, to confer, you can confer at a conference. A conference. A conference would be a large meeting, so to speak, of people who were there to what? To confer. A conference. People conferring. Discussing what is the issues, what is the agenda for the conference. Well, we're going to discuss the teachers and their salary, their hours of work, their conditions in the classroom. This is the agenda that will be discussed or there will be conferred at the conference. Discuss is the same idea. To talk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about certain issues. We will have a discussion about the word conference today. We will talk about it to see if people understand the meaning and the pronunciation. We have a discussion. A talk. They will discuss it tomorrow. What are those fellows doing over there? Oh, they're discussing what time to leave for the airport. They're not sure. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we don't know. They're discussing it right now. There'll be a decision in a little while. Discuss, confer, to talk together about certain issues. Question.
Any question?
Any question? Right. A question would be a remark, a statement, with asking for answer to an issue that I have concerns about. I don't know the meaning of the word question. What is a question? Well, if you have doubt about something, you're not sure about something, you would ask a question. If you're at the airport and you don't know where gate number 6 is, you would go over to the information desk and ask, where is gate number 6? I have a question. Any questions about questions? I think everybody knows what a question is. I would hope.
If just quest have any meaning, QUES.
Oh, well, that's a whole different meaning.
Oh.
It does have a meaning. We discussed it last week. Quest.
Oh, great.
A quest is a search. The quest for something. The quest for gold. I'm looking for gold. I'm on a quest. But this is question. So you have discuss, talk about, confer. Again, talk about. And you can confer at the conference. Inquire. Inquire.
Ask question, find out.
Yeah, to ask. You have inquire and ask. To ask someone, ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for information, ask for money, ask for whatever. You can ask. You have a question, please ask. Ask the question. Speak and state the question. I'm asking the question. I'm stating my question to you. I'm asking, can you help? We'll have a discussion about it this afternoon at the conference when we all confer on a particular topic. You have any inquiries? Please ask me after class. To inquire. To ask. An inquiry. Formal word for ask. I have something to ask. I have an inquiry. To inquire. To ask. Inquire, confer, discuss, question, ask. Any questions about the words? If you do, please ask. If you have any questions. If you do, ask the question and we'll discuss it at the conference this afternoon. Okay.
No question, no discuss.
No questions, no discussion.
Totally clear.
Totally clear.
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, here are some words that come up from time to time. Add. Add. Notice. Notice. Item. News. Obituary. What is an ad?
Advertising newspaper or something that media.
Ad. There is an ad in the paper. There is an ad on television. There is an ad on the fence, a big ad. It is short for what? What is ad short for?
Advertising.
Advertisement.
Advertising.
So not everybody's going to want to walk around saying advertisement all day. They'll just say, oh, did you see the ad? That's it. That's all you need. You saw the ad. You don't have to say, I saw the advertisement. And no. Ad. Short for advertisement. An ad, advertisement, is something to discuss a product, for example, that people are trying to sell. And they'll tell you, here's the product. This is how much it costs. And this is where you can buy it. An ad for the supermarket or the store or whatever they're selling. Notice. Several different meanings, notice.
Notice board.
Did you notice what color dress she was wearing? Did you notice? Did you see? Oh yeah, it was blue, very pretty. Did you notice? Oh yeah, I saw her when she was walking by. Had a blue dress, it was very nice. There's a notice in the paper about the meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock. A notice in the paper. Did you notice it? The notice? In this case, a notice would be a little ad, for example, in the paper about a meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock at police headquarters to discuss safety on the streets. There'll be a meeting at police headquarters. And there was a notice in the paper today. Meeting 6 o'clock, police headquarters. Item. An item.
A piece of something.
Of one thing, of something. An item. You could go to the store, at the supermarket, and buy 5 different items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lady might say at the cashier at checkout, how many items do you have? Oh, 5. Here they are. Item, one thing. An item. You can have an item. Did you see the item in the newspaper? The one article about a certain thing. An item. A notice. A little bit more like an ad or something. A notice tells you about something. Not necessarily what product is available. It could tell you about the meeting at police headquarters. There was a notice in the paper about the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. An item, one thing. It could be a pen, it could be a piece of paper, an item. News, what is news?
Newspaper.
Well, yeah, it could be TV too. News is information. Now, it can be in a newspaper, obviously, newspaper, or it can be on TV, news. Or, did you hear the news? You could tell somebody, oh, what's the news? Oh, she just left for San Francisco. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, the news is just out. So, new information about something in a way. It's not something that happened 6 years ago. you hear what happened? Oh, she left for San Francisco. When? 6 years ago. That's not news. That happened 6 years ago. What happened today, now, right away? And you'll see it in the newspaper, on the news, on television, or somewhere. But it's the news. Obituary.
Bad news.
Bad news.
It's right. Bad news.
Well, it's not good news. What is an obituary?
Like some accident or someone passed away.
Well, that is an obituary. The information, the news, if you will, that someone passed away, died. An obituary. Did you see the obituary in the paper today for the school principal that passed away last week? It would list all his life, the things he did, his relatives, his family, when there'll be a funeral service, that type of thing. There was an obituary in the paper today for the vice president when he passed away last week. Obituary. Usually called an obit. Obituary. There was an obituary in the newspaper today regarding our friend that passed away last week. Obituary. Basically, a short story of the person's life. So you have an ad in the paper, you have a notice, or did you notice? Did you notice what happened over there? What? No, I didn't notice. To see, but a notice can also be an article, let's say, in the paper about a certain event or a certain thing that's going to happen. Oh yeah, there was a notice in the paper about the meeting. An item, one thing. Items, I am buying 6 items. There was an item in the newspaper. Put the items on the table, whatever you have. News, recent information about what's going on in the world. It could be about anything. And an obituary, a notice of passing. Someone has died, passed away. You see these in the newspaper. Any questions about the words? Pronunciation of the word, what?
The last one, the last one.
Obituary.
Obit. Obit.
Yeah, oh. Obituary. 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 Any other questions? Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, here's a new set of words. Deep,
Deep.
deep,
Deep.
shallow,
Shallow.
shallow,
Shallow.
shallow,
Shallow.
ebb,
Ebb.
ebb,
Ebb.
flow,
Flow.
flow,
Flow.
tide,
Tide.
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 What is deep?
Deep.
Oh, deep is deep. Okay, right, got it. Deep is deep.
Deep purple. Deep purple.
Deep purple.
No.
Right.
The dark purple in the book.
Yeah, deep. You can have a, usually it refers to water and how long the water is going down. How deep is it? It could be 3 meters, can be 10 meters, or 10 feet, or 10 yards. Meters, centimeters. However, you have the water in the swimming pool, and it goes like this. This could be 3 meters, this could be 8 meters, something like that. Deep. Deep sleep. What is deep sleep? I had a very deep sleep. Just an expression. You slept very well. I didn't wake up. I didn't wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning or anything like that. I had a very deep sleep all during the night. He's deep in thought. Deep in thought. He's thinking very hard about something. He's thinking quietly in his room, deep in thought. What should I do? Should I take this job here or should I take the job in New York? He's in deep thought. Really, really, really thinking about it. So you can use it as an adjective. Deep water, deep thought, deep sleep. All the same idea. Shallow.
Shallow.
Not
deep.
Not deep. Exactly. The water is very shallow. In other words, you can walk in it. It's like only up to your knees or something like that. Oh, don't worry, it's very shallow. It's not like you're going to stand in it, it's up to your forehead. No, it's only up to your knees. It's very shallow. It also can refer to a person as being very shallow. Doesn't really care about anything. Doesn't really concern himself about anybody's problems. I could care less. You got a problem? Too bad. Don't bother me. Very shallow. Not deep thinking, just right at the top. Boom, just about me, and then you forget about it, anybody else. Shallow. Ebb.
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 Right. Ebb.
What's that? Local.
No, the ebb is to drift back. Water. The water in the ocean. You have the ebb and the flow, and these represent the tide. The tide is turning. That's an expression too. The tide in the ocean depends on the sun and the moon. At certain points, the water flows in toward the beach. In. And then when the tide of the water changes, the water goes back. It ebbs. Ebbs. The ebb and the flow.
Or and flow and ebb.
Yeah. Or the water can be flowing in the river. Moving, 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 moving. The water is flowing. Oh, look, the water is flowing very swiftly. Swiftly. Very swiftly. Very quick. Swift. Swift. S-W-I-F-T. Swift and swiftly. Oh, be careful, the water is very swift. If you're going to swim in the river, be very careful. The water is very swift at the moment. Very swift. So the flow, water coming in the ocean, the ebb tide, back out. Ebb and flow. Back and forth. The tide is the movement of the water in the ocean, determined by the sun and the moon and all these different factors, but the coming in and the going out. The tide. And often you'll hear the tide has changed. In the ball game, the tide has changed. Where it was the team from Hong Kong was winning most of the game. Suddenly, the tide changed. And it was the Thai team that started coming back and winning. The tide changed in the game. Just an expression talking about the water coming in, going back. The ebb and flow. The flow in and the fall back. Ebb tide. Water going back, flow is coming in. It's not very deep, it's very shallow. Deep thought. Thinking very long and hard about something. Very deep thought. Deep sleep. Very good sleep. Be many different ways you could use it as an adjective describing something. Deep this, deep that. Shallow. Ebb, flow, and tide. If you live by an ocean, these would all have meaning. Definitely. Swift, very fast. The water is very swift. If you go swimming, you better be careful. It is a very swift current. Current. If you're talking about water, it means one thing. If you're talking about the time, it means something else. To be very current is to be right up to the moment. Current news is what's happening right now. Current. But the flow of the water is the current. It is a very swift current. It is whoosh or very slow current. You go out and look at the river right now. Is it swift or slow? What is the current like in the river at the moment? Swift or smooth and slow? Slow current. Current events. Current events. What's happening right now? Okay. So you can see there's a lot of, you have words like this, but there's a lot of ways that they can be used. All different things. You would be talking about the current, but then you have to realize that, yeah, it could also be current news. Something totally different, but the same word.